So we are just under halfway through the MLB regular season, about at that 79 to 80 game mark. So we are going to put teams in a tier list based on their performance in the first half of the year. Starting off with my New York Yankees, no bias, no actual bias, S tier. One of three with Baltimore and Philly, I think those three are just well above the rest. They're all within like a one and a one or to a half game of each other. The clear World Series contenders. Seattle, they're having such a surprising year, especially they missed the playoffs and they're hitting terribly. Their hitting core, with the hitting core they have, they should not be leading the division by as much as they are. And I know their entire division is below 500, but their hitting core sucks. They have a couple of pieces. They need bats. They need bats desperately. If they get bats, this could be an ALCS team. This could be a World Series team. And I'm not gonna. They also have like the best rotation in baseball, so obviously I know why they're there. But they need bats if they actually want to make like a good playoff run. Tampa, first year since 2017 that the Rays aren't good, and even in 2017 they were still like an above 500 team or around there. It's been a while since the Rays have been like anywhere bad. I know they had a awful offseason this year. They also had an awful offseason last year and still made the playoffs. This year, same thing. They're just not making the playoffs this year. They still couldn't, but they're not like they're not the Rays. They're not what the Rays always are. Toronto, same thing. Since like past 5 years, past 4 years, consistent playoff team, always there. Haven't made a jump in the playoff. Literally haven't even won a playoff game. But they've always been there. They have so much talent, and this year they're last in the division. Miami, after last year, I know Miami's thing. Oh, we're gonna get good and then sell off all of our pieces. They did it. They do it all the time. They do it like once every like 7 years. But after last year, you get a new ownership, new everything, new front office, everything. You think and you make the 5 seed under this new regime. You just sell off all of your pieces, and now you're under a new regime, new general manager, and it's not good. They sold all their pieces. They're going to continue to do that this deadline. Did it with a rise 1 week into the season. Cardinals have been a very pleasant surprise because past few years they've been good. They've been getting back to like the Cardinals level, and then last year they sucked. Last in their division sucked, and was looking more the same throughout the start of the season. But playing 500, they're above 500 now. They're playing very well. I can see myself moving into B tier. They're the 5th seed right now, but it's just a National League so weak. They're like 500 and they're the 5th seed. Astros, all three of these teams in the same boat. Tons of talent. Been good the past 8 to 4 years around that range, depending on the team, and they've just all sucked. Just not having a good year. Astros, especially at the beginning of the year, were terrible. One of the worst teams in baseball. End up coming back, and they're kind of falling back down again. Ending, there's 37 and 40 or something like that. Not even worse. Under 500 for the Astros. It's weird to see. Braves, I'll put them in A tier. Obviously, losing your best hitter and your best pitcher sucks. I mean, really does sucks. But last year, the time the Braves dealt with this injury shit, this all just terrible things happening to them, they won the World Series. Is that gonna happen this year? Probably not. I don't think that magic sparks again. But man, they're still a very good team. Baltimore, this is the best team in baseball. Following on saying it, they just beat the Yankees 2-1 in Yankee Stadium. They just beat the Phillies yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't remember the result of their game yesterday. But if you're taking down the Phillies, you're taking down the Yankees. You're the best team in baseball. Cleveland, after last year, around the 60-win team, I thought it was more, or around the 70-win team, low 70-win team, and you sell off pieces. I thought Cleveland was going down. It was going to be around the 60-win team this year. Nope. 20 games over 500. Doesn't make any sense. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's the same as Cleveland 2022, but it is. But it's a better version. Like Cleveland in 2022, nobody thought they were going to make the playoffs. End up winning 93 games, taking the Yankees to an elimination game, or win or go home game. And this year they're even better than that. So I don't know how Cleveland do it. They're becoming a new Rays, doing a lot more with a lot less. Colorado, same as it's the same. They're just a mess. Detroit, I can see them being a C. I'll put them in D because they do have the same record as all these teams, just a slightly below 500 team. I guess this is around where everybody thought Detroit would. Some people thought they could take a jump into like an 80s win team. They were like what 77 win team last year. End up buying, getting a lot of good pieces, and they're kind of around the same as last year. Kansas City, great surprise. Thought they maybe could take a jump this year. I still had them as a 60 win team around there, like high 60s, like 68 win team. And 68, yeah. And maybe they could take a jump at being the high 70s and really because they showed a lot of potential last year. I don't think anybody, maybe some people thought they could have been a playoff team, but like us, and they're like 16 games under 500. We're a lot better at the beginning of the year. Have definitely fallen down to earth a bit, but still they're a playoff team. I think they're and the year of the playoffs team as well. Brewers, not S, A. Uh, they're just established themselves. I think this is not a hot take. It's not saying anything. They've established themselves as the best team in the NL Central, the best run organization in the NL Central. They just, no matter what they lose, they always find replacements. Corbin Burns gone. We're replacing him. We're still going to lead the division by a good amount. Angels, Mike Trout's hurt. He had such a great start to the year. Hasn't played since. You lose Shohei Ohtani in the offseason when you're already a shitty team. Yeah. A's, I'm going to put a tier above. I think they're establishedly better than these teams, which is weird to say. It's always been the Marlins, the Rockies, the A's, Angels, and yeah. And I think the A's are a tier above that. They were 500 through the first 40 games. Double that. They've definitely fallen down. They're not as good as they were at the beginning of the year, which was shocking that they're even 500. Was still like unimaginable seeing like the Instagram post of the MLB showing the scores, and then you see the A's at 500. I'm like, damn. But they have pieces. They're hitting. They have a lot of good hitters. Brent Rooker's playing amazing. Esteury Ruiz, if they like to play him, is playing amazing. JJ Bleday is playing amazing. They have top 3 closer in baseball, Mason Miller. Top 3, top 5. We'll say top 5. So the A's are definitely established. I think establishedly better than the worst team in baseball, or that worst tier. Phillies S, best team in the National League by far. I think their talent, their everything, had the experience. Phillies Orioles World Series, Phillies Yankees World Series would go so hard. Pirates, D, yeah, I'll put them there. It had again, kind of like last year, a really good start to the year, have fallen off, but have a lot of talent. Their pitching rotation is really good. They need some guys. They need some hitters. Need some bats. I can see them buying at the trade deadline, trying to make a playoff push because they're the first National League team here. But most of the Cardinals are above 500 as a 5th seed. The 6th seed is good. All under 500. All that 6 to 9 seed, 6 to 10 seed range are all within 2 games of each other. So I can see a lot of teams buying at the trade deadline in that kind of area. Padres, I'll take a tier above. They're playing 500 baseball the entire year. They've been probably no farther than 2 games above 500 and no farther 3 games below. They're definitely a buyer. If they buy at the trade deadline, this can be. The Padres are in the same boat as the Pirates, the Mets, the Diamondbacks, the Giants, all those teams. I just think they are just a little above that. I'm more willing to put them in C instead of D. Rangers, D. After a World Series, you think they'd be a little better than where they are now, but they're just not. They're just not playing good. I know they haven't had any of their veteran pitchers, but they didn't have any of them veteran pitchers last year. Scherzer was hurt a lot. DeGrom was hurt the entire year. And they won a World Series this year. Same thing, but a lot different result. Red Sox, I'll actually put the Red Sox in B. They're playing very well. They're just playing very well. They're also, throughout the entire year, obviously, but right now they are playing extremely well, Boston. It's going to be really interesting. I was talking about the Royals being an established playoff team. I'm going to backtrack on that. because they actually are the 6th seed right now, and Boston's right behind them. Actually, Boston may be above them. I think it's gonna be one of the Yankees or Orioles win the division. Mariners and Cleveland seem like they've already locked up the divisions. So and one of the Yankees and Orioles are going to lock up the 4 seed. That 5 through 7 range between the Red Sox, the Royals, and the Twins is going to be very interesting throughout the second half of the year. Giants, I'll stick above here, 2 into the seeds here. They're playing, they've just been mid the entire year. Dodgers, where do I want to put the Dodgers? They've just not been playing like one of the 3 teams above them. They've been way more playing in this Cleveland range, Milwaukee range, Mariners, Braves. They have the talent. Mookie just went down, which sucks. But Shohei is, who kind of fell out of the MVP race a little with Ozuna, and Betts is right back there. He's mashing right now. He's definitely the MVP, which he would be, right? He would be the first DH to win an MVP, I'm pretty sure, and it's looking right now he's on track to do that. Arizona D, again, after the World Series, what moves they made in the offseason. I know Jordan Montgomery sucks, but the moves they made in the offseason and with what they did last year, you think they'd have to at least make some sort of jump, but they just didn't. Corbin Carroll sucked too. But again, with all of these teams, they've sucked, but they're still definitely in the playoff race. Mets, the Grimace Magic, man. The Grimace Magic. They're playing super hot. They're around the same record down here, but they're playing way too well, so I'm going to put them in C here. White Sox, worst team in baseball. Nothing else to say. Twins, again, said this playoff race going to be real interesting. Cubs, I'm going to put, they're definitely disappointed me. I had the Cubs as my winners of the NL Central, and they have completely disappointed me. Now, Washington, again, unlike this team, they're above the A's. They're more halfway through here, but I'm going to stick them in the E tier. They've been playing just really well. Washington has been playing really well with their young core. Their future is really bright. And finally, Cincinnati, I'm going to stick in this D tier. Again, a team with at least over 500 expectations, went over 500 last year, kind of just playing mid. So, honestly, I think it is interesting to see, just looking at this, how many teams are in that 33 to 37 wins mark. All of these teams are in that same boat. And I just find that very interesting. So this is the view of the MLB this half of the season. Second half should be fun. Thank you all for watching. Join the Discord server.